Dan here for Six Towns Radio. I am with Cara and Carl, who are currently at the Regent Theatre in Cilla the Musical. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. You play Cilla and Bobby.
Yes.
It is such a great show to watch. First question is an obvious one. What's it like to be in?
Amazing, yeah. The music's just incredible. The story's amazing, and the audience response makes it all worthwhile. It's always magical. Every single show we've had so far since we opened in September, the reaction's just been lovely. So.
With the show, it's a documentary feel to it. It's documenting the life of the short kind of musical story of Cilla. Is it tough as actors to portray something which is these are real life people? As some musicals are obviously they've been written specifically characters, whereas this is you're portraying Cilla, you're portraying Bobby. Like it's real people that you're portraying. Is that an extra pressure on you as performers?
I think do you want to answer that? Because Cilla, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it is, and obviously with her son Robert Willis being the executive producer on the show, he was involved in all of the rehearsal process and everything. So it's sort of you think I've got to get this right because it's so important to everyone involved. And but then again, it's great because there's so much footage of her, everything on YouTube, you can watch it all, so you've got all that resource available to you. So and it's great to be able to be someone like her.
I think they were very clear from day one as well that it wasn't an impersonation. Yeah. They didn't want that, they just wanted an essence of Cilla, which Cara does beautifully. And then like you said, like research wise, there's books, there's a lot of information out there. So I think reading that, and then also Jeff Pope's script is so it lives for itself. So I think reading that too, like you can kind of develop your own way to kind of portray it, and as long as the essence is there, then that's.
Was that a tough thing going into? Obviously, everybody knows about the audition process for this. It was very well documented that it was nationwide. It was thousands and thousands of people auditioned, and I mean, here you are. Was it hard for you when you went into rehearsals to not go, I need to be Cilla, I need to do this, she did this, so I need to do this? Was that a tough thing for you because you've got to come up with your own way of portraying that instead of, like you said, not being an impersonator?
Yeah.
You know what? I never really thought about it having to be a certain way. The script, like you just said, the script is so good and so clear, it does just flow really natural. So I think watching lots of footage of her, a lot of her sort of mannerisms and things just seeps in without really having to think, okay, I have to move like this, because otherwise it then becomes a bit unnatural anyway.
She's such a big iconic legend, like Liverpool legend, that I think we grew up with her on Blind Date, Surprise Surprise, like sitting with chippy chips on your knee, like at home with the family and stuff. So I think those kind of things will naturally embody you anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like you get used to the kind of little mannerisms that you've seen. So
there is sections of the script. But there is sections of the script, and obviously sections of the performance where you kind of go, "Oh my lord, that was so close to like the real thing," and that's testament to the performance. And you can see that that's the whole audience kind of. I think the first time I did it was when you said, I think it was, it's not fair. Like obviously, I like, and you just went, "Oh my lord!" And everybody together kind of had an intake of, "Wow!" Like, and then you kind of relax into it. So there's bits which are in there, and you go, "That's definitely a Cilla thing that you've taken."
So you see the audience warm up to it, and especially like in Liverpool and stuff, you sort of get that, okay, what have you got? And then you do like the first couple of scenes, and they go, oh, okay,
we've accepted.
I'm invested now. Yeah.
Because the very first almost scene is kind of yourself on stage on your own, having a mock interview, and you go, okay, I can get hold of this, and you, like you say, you do sort of get into it with the show. Obviously, you're on stage. I mean, being the title character, you're on stage a lot of the time. Do you have a certain point when you get to it and you go, I've been waiting for this bit, and then you can just go, yes, and then the rest of the show just kind of flows?
Probably after Anyone Who Had a Heart at the end of the first act, because that's the song that everyone's waiting for. Yeah. So obviously there's an element of pressure that just sort of solidifies it, just because it's a beautiful moment in the show and in the recording studio and the number one and everything, and it's a really magical, even just performing it every day, it's a really magical moment.
You go along that story as well of, is it number, even though it's number one, you go, is it going to be number one?
It's funny, I've heard people in the audience go, yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Just don't ruin the story for everybody else. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Is there a part of the show where you are not part of and you would love to be? It's the whole show is fun and the whole show kind of consists of you. I guess it's so. I'm going to say you, Carl. Is there a bit of the show where you go? Is there a bit of this? Not kidding. I know. Is there a bit that? Is there a bit that?
I would like to sing your mind.
Yeah,
No.
like
Is there a bit that Cara
Clara
does that you go? Oh, wow. Just where you can step back and go, this is. Wow, you're part of that, and you're like, we're all part of this, because you can see that the whole cast are loving it.
Yeah.
Is there a part for you that you go
To be fair, like I would agree. I'd say yeah, she's judging me now. No, I think that anyone who had a heart moment, I think, is just where it is magical, and like to hear that audience response as well. Like there's a moment before the applause where there's like you can hear a pin drop, and then all of a sudden there's this vast applause. And I think for all of us actors on stage, then that's I think when we knew like that this is gonna work and how successful it was gonna be. But generally, like working with Cara, like it's just great. Like we've got on so well, haven't we? Oh, the little smile. Like, we've got on so well, and from day one. So like, I think we've just invested, haven't we? Like throughout this whole rehearsal process, through all the shows so far in every city. Like, but I think in the rehearsal process, even Bill commented on it a few times, didn't he? Like talking about like our chemistry was really strong, and
he's convinced we're having some wild affair.
Yeah, he is.
Because you have to be invested in that though, as an audience. You have to be. You have to believe that it's real. It's happening in front of you, and if that's not there, then obviously it's kind of the big part of the story is lost because there's so many different.
People have said that has really made it is the chemistry on stage, and that obviously makes such a difference.
Lottie said that actually, didn't he? Lottie was like, you make us believe, and I think that's the best compliment that you can have. We've also had Robert Willis, obviously Robert Willis attached to this, so we've had some of Cilla's family, like cousins and all of this, like watch it, especially in Liverpool.
And the real Pat and Corny of being...
Really?
And they just so overwhelmed
they loved it, and they could recognise their own family in our performances, so for us that's huge.
Would it be a new musical which not many people will have seen, and this is for some people this will be their first time seeing this, and you are the people that they will remember after seeing this show. What is that like on stage? Because obviously people will come to you and go, you're amazing, this is amazing. You've got the family of Cilla coming to you and saying that. What is that like as performers to have that just around you?
It's honestly, it's lovely. Like coming out of stage door and getting that response from people, like it's so lovely, and people are so sweet, and
I think it's just in a way, like, not that that's what we look for, but in a way it's just kind of validation that we're doing it right. Like, and it's kind of like a little pat on the back, just to be like, this is, you're portraying it well, and it's believable, and the truth is there. Like any story, like you want the truth to you want it to be truthful.
And it's obviously affected people in a certain way, and
all the
they feel that the fact that they will make the effort, and they feel the need to come and say that to you is
it's overwhelming.
There's a line which it's when I think Cilla is performing at Blackpool and they're watching it on telly and the same, but it's like she's in the room. It's like she's talking to us, and that's obviously how people perceive Cilla when she was on television, and that's almost the feeling that you kind of, it's in a way, it's double. You should go, oh, that's what she was like, but she was actually speaking to us, even though we're watching it here. You could be speaking to any individual, and that's something which you've got to take on.
That's why those moments are quite nice, because they are live performances. You can address the audience as if they were the live audience in that situation. So you're making eye contact with people in the first few rows, and I think they probably
Is it daunting for you to kind of do stuff like that, or is that when you go, no, the roles are reversed, I'm watching you now?
She was a lot funnier than I was, so I've got to try and live up to that, but no, it's great.
It is it's a roller coaster of emotions of a show. You've got almost everything, and then by the time you finish, like as an audience member, and this isn't like a negative thing, but you are kind of emotionally kind of exhausted for going through all of these with the characters on stage. How do you wind down after a show? That's what because I can't imagine you just kind of going and relax, because you're up there, you're down there constantly. How do you just wind down and relax?
I think on two show days, we are actually exhausted.
We just just go to sleep.
We'd like to be those cool. We are literally.
Last night we had a beer though.
Yeah, that's true.
Just the one.
Yeah,
just the one.
beer.
Yeah,
not crazy.
No.
No, but yeah, it's funny. We sometimes we talk, don't we?
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
like quite a lot. We've stayed together on tour, like in terms of digs wise.
Yeah.
I've kind of sourced the majority of those out, like a true
He's-
Bobby
and
Willis.
he's like, put my trains.
Carrying the bags.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Well,
honestly.
but no, like we've kind of spoke about things, or like little things if
Just
there's
having
been
a
emotional.
gossip, yeah.
Or like you say, I think because of the emotional roller coaster of the show and the narrative, like you can't help but get so invested, and then there's random things, even like just seeing the audience and seeing their responses, and like there'll be different things each time, and like the standing ovations that we get in the end, like just seeing that, and there's just people that shout things like "we love you, Cilla," or things like this, and you're just like, wow, that's the bit where it kind of chokes you and you get a bit emotional, and then you're kind of like,
And it's when
did you see that
the
person?
older generation in the audience, like when they just leap up and start dancing, it's just the
that
best
nostalgia
thing, because
is-
they're obviously so transported back to that time and how they felt in the 60s at that time, and you can just see it, and it's amazing.
I think it's testament to your performance as well as almost the staging and the scenery that's on there, and the way that you can be transported back to the cavern. Like you would go, like, you just go, this is the cavern. Like I don't need to imagine it. It's as close as you can get. You've got the arches in there as well. You go, wow. But then that transported straight away, so you could go into like a TV show. You do kind of get along with that. And so you mentioned like the older generation of people. You can see them go. And then towards the end, when it's like, yes, everybody's up and dancing, and it's impossible not to.
Yeah.
Do you have any tour rituals? So you're on tour. You've been on tour for a while. It's a very busy show. Constantly performing. Do you have any rituals before you go on stage?
I was just to brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Is that a ritual?
Just hygiene.
Yeah.
Well,
just,
exactly. Well,
I
we
mean,
have
got
to kiss,
kiss, so
it's quite important.
do you just go, have you brushed your teeth?
otherwise kiss.
I just eat garlic. I'm like, have this
Just completely the opposite.
Yeah.
No.
Smell what I had for dinner.
No, you brush your teeth. In between the two shows, I bought myself this blow up bed.
Okay.
Which is like it's kind of one of these air beds that you get in like festivals or like a lounger, and you like catch the air in it.
See him trying to blow it
No,
out.
genuinely, if you look, like you'll see me running past the dressing rooms trying to catch the air into this lounger, and then like once it's in, you then close it and you roll it up and then you clip it, and then
Yeah, but
you
you've
lie.
fallen asleep on it before and
I've
it's just
fallen-
gone down. and it's just
Yeah,
on
I've
the
woken
floor.
up and I've been flat on the floor, so it might have a hole in. Don't quite know. But yeah, so that's what I do like in between two shows, just to kind of get a little power nap and stuff. But I think
I just spend too much time eating. By the time
Yeah.
I've eaten, and no time.
Just
for
eating and sleeping.
eating and sleep. Yeah, I mean,
It's like the perfect combination.
Yeah. We raided Holland and Barrett's as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
We just absolutely.
Got like a little pharmacy going on.
Yeah. in our dressing room.
Anybody's
Just
got any
like-
illnesses,
honey.
come to us.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Honey and lemon, sorted. Thanks very much.
Exactly.
Guys, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank
I don't want
you.
to take too much time with you. I know it was a busy show yesterday. You've got shows coming up today as well. You can get your own tickets to come and see Cilla at the Regent Theatre from www.atgtickets.com/Stoke. Guys, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.